Do we know what a transversal is? It's okay if you don't know what it is. I'm just curious if you've heard that word before.
A what?
Transversal. What?
Lines that intersect.
So it is, yeah, it's a line that kind of cuts through something, basically. So a transversal, so like you can see in number 1, our transversal would be L here. But that's like a point slip. That's for high school.
What's that?
I'm out of middle school.
That's an E. That is not an E.
It's a little weird. I think we talked about this the other day. But when we name our lines, we use L a lot, and sometimes it can look like a 1. So they like to use the fancy L, which is like a loop. So it looks a little bit like an E. It's a weird one. So that is our transversal. It's cutting through those 2 lines. In number 2, T is our transversal here. Yes. So uppercase letters are used for points typically, and a lowercase are used for lines or angles. Yeah. Why? I have no idea, but that's just how they do it. Okay. Does that make sense? What a transversal is? We all get what a transversal is? So it's the line that's cutting through the other line. So the highlighted ones. Yeah. Okay. If we look at the angles in number 1, what angles look congruent to you? What angles look the same?
7 and 2.
7 and 2.
5 and 8.
5 and 8 do look the same. Do you guys know how we label congruent angles? Okay.
It's like the weird one. Yeah.
So 5 and 8 are congruent. Absolutely. Any others that look congruent? 6 and 7 also look congruent. I'm going to use 2 lines to show that they're congruent to each other. Yeah, those are called vertical angles. And we're going to get to that in a second. What about the top, the 1, 2, 3, 4? Are any of those? 1 and 4? Absolutely. We can do a little line through. And 2 and 3. Is this okay?
Yes.
We're going to talk about like the rules of it. So to show that they're congruent to each other, but not congruent to like 6 and 7, right? We want to make sure we're using a different symbol. You could also use like, instead you can use 3 lines or whatever. You can use whatever you want. Basically, we're just trying to show that they're congruent to each other, but not to the other thing. Exactly. So as long as it's unique. So typically we start with like 1 curve or 2 curve, right? And go from there. Yeah, it's actually dead forever. It's broken. Okay. Number 2, what line or what angles look congruent? So the opposites, absolutely. So we're gonna go like this. Absolutely. What about does it look like 1 and 5 might be congruent?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Looks like they could be, right?
Yeah. And 8.
And 8, absolutely. So actually, if we have parallel lines, so if L and M are parallel to each other, what does parallel mean?
Going the same, never touch.
Exactly. So if they never intersect, then we have something called corresponding angles, which means if they're in the same place on like the top intersection and the bottom intersection, like 1 and 5 or 2 and 6, they're going to be congruent to each other as well. Does that make sense?
What do you do for that?
So we can mark them the same way. Yeah. Okay. So we have vertical angles. I'm gonna give you. Is it okay if I give you like the rough definition?
Yeah.
Not like a full. Okay. Vertical angles are across from each other. And then corresponding angles are in the same place. Let's say of. Of a different intersection. So we do not need parallel lines or anything for vertical angles, right? Because they're all part of the same intersection. But for corresponding only happens when they are parallel. Parallel. Okay. Is that okay? Does this make sense? Okay. So like vertical angles, for instance, I'll just give you the examples on here.
So basically all you're doing is drawing lines.
So you guys, we're going to use actual numbers, and you're going to tell me what the values are. So, for instance, for this, if possible, find the measures of the remaining 7 angles. If we have 121, what other angles could we know? Oh, sorry. Let's stop for a second and let me make sure you know some notation. Do you know what these little arrows mean?
They're going up.
They're going up.
It means they're going the same direction.
It means they're going the same direction, which means those lines are parallel. Yeah. So that's how we mark if lines are parallel. We use little arrow point. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that N and D are parallel in this case. Also, do we know what supplementary angles are? We talked about it the other day, right? I feel like
They're the same. Or they're
not the same.
It adds up to 90, 180.
180, absolutely. Okay, so supplementary angles add up to 180. If we have collinear angles, a word you don't need to know,
They're the same.
but angles on the same line, they are supplementary. So if we have, for instance, these two angles, that's all on one line, a line is 180. Does that make sense? So how could I, if I know that this one is 121,
Then E, then the F.
So you add.
so what would this one be?
It's just the pattern. It's just the pattern.
So what would be that other angle with the 2
59.
lines?
121, right?
59.
The one with the 2 lines. Why 59?
Because it adds 180.
Yeah, so we're going to take our 180 and we're going to subtract 121 and we get 59.
How do you just know we did?
Wait, what?
Oh, well, he just did the math. You can use a calculator. Or you know, subtract.
Rice Krispies for?
Okay, I don't know.
They're green.
They're just here.
Why are they green?
Halloween?
Yeah,
Sometimes there's just food on my counter and I never know where it comes from.
Actually, it doesn't have a name on it, so can we eat it?
No.
Technically, it has a name. Oh, no. No. With the orange wall. Green.
I just had it green and everyone yelled at me.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get to see it.
Green looks like
Yeah, green.
I feel like it looks like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
A pumpkin?
With the orange?
Yeah. But then it'd be yellow.
Nah, it's more like a
Yellow
bee.
light. Turn off the light.
Ew.
Make it
Yeah,
orange.
If you would like to turn off the lights, you can. Okay.
Turn off the lights, hands up.
But we have to find the rest of these angles. So, what angle is vertical to the 121, to ABC?
121.
Which, can you name the angle that is vertical of 121? Hey guys, are we listening?
Yes.
Can we name the angle that is vertical to ABC? Right, so to the 121. What does vertical mean again?
BCD.
BCD.
BAF.
Not quite.
Wait, what's the question?
BGF. BGF.
So which angle is vertical angle of the 121, the ABC?
It's like opposite, yeah?
So yeah, straight across from.
So like B, F, G, D.
We're gonna name it in order. So if we start at D, B, F, then that's that angle. Does that make sense?
Why are there little
Okay.
red lamps?
What?
What's the little red lamps?
Those are from Iron Man. So I just had them in my classroom. Okay, so angle DBF, or the measure of angle DBF equals 121. Is that okay?
Why DBF?
So DBF, so we name it like we're starting at this point, we're going to this point, and we're going to this point to make that angle. Does that make sense?
But isn't
Okay.
it N?
Miss, how do you know this?
N is the line, is the name of the line. So we named it, oh, M is just measure. If you guys don't write that, that's fine, but technically it's just the measure of angle DBF equals that. Yes? I'm kind of in the middle of the lesson.
You have said it.
So, what about the measure of angle ABF? Which angle is that?
What'd you say?
Measure of angle ABF.
Oh, 59.
It should be 59, absolutely. Why is it 59? Why is it 59, guys?
Same.
Because
Yeah, they are vertical, right? It's vertical to the other 59. Oh, ABF. Okay, what about the measure of angle BFE? Hey guys, what about BFE?
What are we doing?
BFE, what's the measure of angle BFE? So this one right here. 121, how did we get 121?
Because Michael said it.
And why did Michael say it?
Because it's the same as the
Yes, do we remember the word?
They're parallel lines. So it has
They're
to be
parallel
the same.
lines, so they are corresponding.
Corresponding.
Which means they are congruent to each other. Absolutely. Okay. What about the measure of angle BFG?
So they look the same.
59. Absolutely.
How is it 50?
Because again, they're in the same place, right? Corresponding means we have this one, top right. This one is going to be the same if those lines are parallel. Does that make sense?
Not really.
What's confusing, Zach?
So like, how'd you get the, so it's
121.
And then you guys said by what?
180. This one.
How'd you get 180?
So always on a straight line adds up to 180. Right? So if we have those two angles, they're supplementary. That means they add up to 180.
So you, okay.
So we can just subtract one from 180 to get the other one. Is that okay? Okay.
Oh.
All right, we have two more angles. So what about the measure of angle EFH? 59. And yeah, it said fine, it's 7. What about GFH?
121.
1, 2, 1.
Perfect. Does this make sense? Is this okay?
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Kind of. Okay. All right. We're not gonna do that part. Okay.
I can't see it.
What about these ones?
Easy peasy.
Okay. Do we have a chart?
Easy peasy.
Okay. Can you tell me what other angle is 71 degrees? Whoa. What are we doing? Guys, there's so much chatter.
Too easy peasy.
What other angle is 71 degrees? Can you name any other angle? L?
EL.
Christians.
ELF. ELF is also 71. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So homework.
I just want to make sure we're naming it correctly.
And I don't laugh.
It says elf right there.
And it says
ELF.
Like the
Okay.
beer.
It
says car.
Are there any other angles that are 71 degrees?
And rat.
I hope Sienna's not eating in my classroom. I hope not.
It says KAL. And TAR.
Okay. Say that one more time. Sorry, Christian.
Rat. And elf. And the. Yeah, that one.
ALK?
The way you
Okay.
line's so slow to see.
Well, because I was waiting for him to say and then he never did. Okay. What would be the measure of angle CAT? How would we find it?
It's
180.
111. 109.
So 109. Is that okay? Does everybody get that? Girls, do I have to move somebody?
So we just, so we just do the same
That
thing
one
twice.
is 109.
So do we understand?
I like this
How we got
lesson
109.
better than
Yeah,
the
this
stuff
one's
we were
way
Me
doing
too.
before.
I prefer when we're using actual
We have to
numbers.
take a quiz on the other. The other stuff just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
But I might do it as a take home.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you guys can like use your notes. Like we'll do it as like a homework kind of thing. Because it's just like drawing and I just don't care enough. Okay. Can we stop throwing things in my classroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Does everybody understand how we got 109?
Yeah, we just add them both together, right?
Yeah, so if we add them both together, they have to add up to 180.
Yeah, 180 plus 180 equals 360.
That one would be
True.
109.
If, yes, so if they're on the same line, they're supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So the 71 here, the 71 here, and the 109 here are all on the same line.
Wait,
So we just subtracted off the 71.
Wait, so then
Is this okay?
And complementary adds up to
In
90.
my class.
Wait,
I have to give you
R,
credit.
RAL is 71, and then R.
71? RAL is going to be 109.
Yeah, and then 71 is R.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, what about ELT or ELA?
I like the BLT from Subway. It's really good.
That's
There actually is. It's a veggie delight plus bacon. Yeah, I get a BLT every time I go to
109,
Subway.
right?
I mean the BMT. I like the BMT.
Oh, I don't like a BLT. Okay, that one is 109, Bailey. Thank you.
What are you doing? And then SLK is 109.
And then FLK is also 109. Okay, does that make sense? And do my labels make sense?
Yes.
The lines are okay. No?
It's
Okay. Zach is drawing an alien. Okay.
I'm drawing deck.
What about this one? What do we know? What would angle SER be?
90. Wait. SE
98.
98 divided by
92.
minus 180 equals.
100.
Yeah, pain is great. Where's my calculator?
92. 82.
82.
That's not right.
It's 82. It's
No,
82.
you said 92.
I know.
SEV is 90.
So SEV is gonna be that 82.
And then the opposite is 80.
What's happening right now? And then yeah, the other vertical angle is also 82.
20 minutes.
What about HRE?
You try to get the
That's 98.
What about HRE?
HRE 98.
Can't get it
Is
over.
it?
Wait, are we
What
looking at
numbers are you
HRV or HRT?
HRE.
Oh, I
Oh,
said H
82.
No.
82?
It's vertical.
Does anybody have any other thoughts?
Because they're parallel.
I think the word you're looking for is corresponding. Are those lines parallel?
No, they're not.
Ooh.
Yeah, they are.
What if they are?
They don't have the.
What if they are, but are they labeled
Come back.
parallel?
I don't agree.
Sorry.
Hey, can we stop throwing things at
I'm
people?
playing shuffle. You know shuffleboard?
Yeah, let's not play that right now. Let me finish my lesson.
Ooh.
Okay. Are those lines parallel?
Parallel?
Yeah. Our lines,
Slightly different.
they could be different, right? We're not told that they're parallel. So nowhere in the setup of the question does it say that they're parallel. It doesn't have the little arrows on them.
Yeah.
So we don't know if they're parallel. We can look at it and we can say, those look parallel to me, right? But do not trust a scale of a drawing, okay? If we look at a drawing and we say, it looks like a right angle, it might not be a right angle, right? If we look at two lines and they look like they're parallel,
And look at R.
yeah, it looks like it could be slightly off. It could be like 97. We're just not sure. So unless labeled, we cannot assume that the lines are parallel. Does that make sense?
So what if they were parallel? What if,
If they were parallel, then you guys are correct, right?
and then we
Like
our best
this
guess?
would be 82, this would be 98, that
Our
whole
best
thing.
guess is that they are parallel.
Our best guess is that they're parallel, but we don't know. So if we don't know, we say, oh, we don't have enough information.
Wait,
We
so
can't
what are
find it out.
supposed to
So like it says, if possible, find the remaining 7 angles. It's not possible.
do?
So we only found those 4. That's it. Yeah. And that's fine. Okay. So if they're parallel, they have, or if we're going to, we can't assume they're parallel. We have to have the label, or it has to say in the question, these lines are parallel to each other, is basically my point. Does this make sense? Do we feel okay about it?
The aliens come close.
I'll come talk to you. We'll chat. Okay. Yeah. She's a child. She's
Am
a
I
minor.
allowed to steal the $20 out of that?
Oh, you don't care, Miss Todd? Great. What? I was talking to her.
I'm getting back.
Don't steal my stuff. You're getting me back? For what?
Oh, I said I'm getting back.
Oh.
I did not.
Oh, for you know P. Diddy was called.
Oh.
Feel good.
Miss Pizza, yeah.
Do I know him personally? No. I've never met him.
Yeah, I mean that's.
What?
Huh?
What? Okay, you guys are going to be on page. Where is it? Page 197
I know you like the boy. You like the boy?
through
Bro, fruit follows and stuff.
200. What's your question, Brad?
The alien came closer.
Interesting. All right, I want you guys to do. One through.
How come we skip so many pages?
Because the lesson is just a lot of pages long. We're gonna do 1 through 8.
I might have erased a page now.
What's brownie points?
We can do brownie points. Brownie points will be. Let's try 9 through 12. Very similar to yesterday's
Don't know.
problems that you might not know how
I
to.
fixed some stuff. I fixed.
I can do it. Okay, if we throw one more thing in my class, I will scream at the top.
Why did you give us so many problems?
Lift the microphone.
Through the microphone.
Miss Todd, you gave us so many problems because they all had